All right, what's going on, everybody? So I want to give you guys this quick encouraging word. I believe that if you've clicked on this video, that this video was meant for you today. And I believe that for many of you experiencing the same thing, wherever you are in your life, I believe this will bless you and this will encourage you. And I believe that God wants you to get to this next level, to each their own. And as I was reflecting on my day, my situations, just different life circumstances that Lord is allowing me to go through, whether publicly or privately, I was reminded of Daniel, his story. I was reminded of many other people in the news and what torment and suffering and just big issues they are going through themselves, whether it's lawsuits, whether it's defamation, whether it's good things or bad things. The scale to which they have to deal with this is not just coming out of nowhere. And for myself too, I've been going through many things. One of the things I talk about is just the persecution or just various things that happen to me in the public sphere, people making posts or videos or different things or comments and all that. And that's just one area of many other areas. And as I was thinking about it today, you know, if you think about like a sound wave, right? A sound wave, it's anchored in the middle, and then there's oscillation, right? Left and right, left and right. And so it's always being pulled to some degree, whether it's a smaller sort of oscillation or a bigger oscillation. Either way, it's still rooted in one line, one straight path, but it's just moving left and right. And what God wants and how he's training a lot of people in this hour is that he allows you to go through the small issues first. He allows you to go through small stresses, small bits of anxiety, small, rubbing shoulders, small disagreements, small conflicts, whatever you want to call it, before he upgrades you to the bigger things. Because God can't take you from 0 to 100. He can't allow you to go from a level 1, video game, I don't know if it comes to mind, up to level 99. He doesn't allow you to have no running experience, and then you have to run a 26-mile marathon. What God does is he allows you and tests you in the small things. How will you handle the anxiety, the stress, the pressure, your reactions, your emotional, mental capability before you move on to the big thing? So if you have stage fright, if you have an issue with getting in front of people, if you have an issue with a lot of people hating on you, if you have an issue with any sort of, big things, if you're scared of some kind of defamation, some lawsuit coming against you or whatever that issue is, if you cannot handle it and you're you break down so much that you cave, then God is not going to have you experience that just yet. It may be a plan for you in the future, but he knows that you cannot handle it. Same goes for any kind of good or bad thing. If he wants to give you a lot of money and he just does it, right? Just as you're a young person and he knows you will mismanage it, he's not going to give you that money just yet until you pass a lot of these stage gates, milestones, testing, whatever you want to call it. So as I was looking at, my situation of various things, I was so grateful, so happy that even as the Lord has built me up emotionally, he's built me up through so many difficult social or just professional, personal circumstances, where even now, as it is hitting me, as certain things are coming at me, it is that I have built the foundation. I have built the foundation in him, and that I can take this amount of slings and arrows and various things such that I can handle it and I can still be stable. I can still be strong. I can still be rooted in him. I won't turn away from my faith, but I can continue going. And so for many people, if you experience what I experience, I'm not saying this in any arrogant way. You would break down, you would cry, and you wouldn't be able to handle it. And some people, if it was that bad, they may even consider the inevitable of ending themselves. And again, I'm not trying to say this in any boastful way, but to each their own. There are other things for which I'm not ready to handle things that many of you are able to handle right now at your age, at your life experience, whatever it is. But the point is that God knows exactly the steps you need to take. And he wants you to get somewhere. He wants you to break through to these things. But you have to be able to be a good steward and manage it right now. If some of you guys are getting so worked up, so sensitive, so timid and so awkward and so just weird about one little issue, one little problem, somebody looked at you in the wrong way and you're just like losing sleep over it, but yet God wants to put you in front of 1,000 people to speak to them in an auditorium, but yet you can't even handle the smartest microaggression from somebody, then he knows that you won't be able to handle the bigger things. And so that's why when you are trying to get a grip on your emotions and yourself and just your dialogue, your happenings with your daily circumstances. Be careful how you are stewarding that, because for many people, just because you can't work 8 hours, you're so stressed over your day job. 9 to 5 is such a heavy commitment for you. And you can't just get through all the work, your mental, your focus, your concentration. You just can't handle those things. If you can't do that in the smaller things, then he can't promote you. He can't upgrade you. He can't give you the bigger things, because it's going to ruin you in the very end. And so that's why you have to realize that as God brings certain problems, certain persecutions, certain troubles, certain blessings, certain open doors, you have to be a good steward of that in that moment. Train yourself, be tested, persevere, be consistent, and make sure that you are faithful in the small things. Those who are faithful with little will be faithful with much. And so as God is trying to get you to wake up and see and experience and build that character, build your foundation, make sure that as a sound wave, you're going straight. And if you are being pulled left and right, if you are being affected and pressed in and just having this external force on you, you're not moving, right? You're not being swayed by that movement. The sound wave still goes straight. It oscillates, yes, but there's an anchor that allows you to take a straight path. And so this is where God is wanting you to make sure that you're responding appropriately. And again, to each their own. But a lot of people right now, they are fumbling with what they have. And so if you are going through a stressful, a difficult situation, just know that it was, if you even reflect on your life before that, it was much easier before, right? It was much easier. The amount of schooling or topics or content that you had to engage with 10 years ago was much easier than what it is now, because God has upgraded you from where you were before. And so you have to see it the same way as you see your future. And if you aren't able to mature and upgrade and take diligently what's been stewarded to you in this moment, then you cannot get to that next level in 10 years. And so I say this in exhortation and as a word of encouragement. But for many people, evaluate the small things, the small issues, the small problems in life, and ask God, how should I handle this? How should I deal with this? Because he wants to get you over those humps. He wants your character strengthened, your resolve, your tenacity, your perseverance, just your reaction to be more stable. And instead of this emotional, erratic, weak person with no foundation, he wants you to make sure that you are ready for the bigger things in life, whatever that is for you. Maybe God has shown you already your direction. You are very in fear. You're very anxious about it. He wants you there, but you have to work on the small things right now. So I just want to encourage you guys, as much as I'm going through many things, there are other people, maybe in the public sphere of things we know, or just maybe even in the secret and quiet place, to each their own, whatever life you're living. He knows what you're going through and the external pressures that are coming, the demonic attacks or whatever that is for them, the problems, the hardships they're going through. He knows the scale, the degree to which that level is impacting them at that moment, and if they're ready or not. And God knows, to each their own. So I just wanted to give you guys this encouraging word as I see my life, as I see many of your lives, other people that I've been following or hear of. All of this is happening for a reason, and he wants to upgrade us in the end so that we can be ready for the bigger things. So I love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.